Hello everybody, I am Kayumba, and I like to talk about whatever video game or cartoon topic that pops into my head. And I wanted to start a new series on my channel where I look at the first few episodes of a show that I either haven't seen before or it has been a while, and then discuss what happened in them and whether or not I'll keep watching after the video is made. The first show that I'm doing for this series is Cartoon Network's Ed, Edd and Eddy. Other than The Amazing World of Gumball, Infinity Train, and a few episodes from older shows like Courage the Cowardly Dog or Dexter's Lab, I didn't really have that much exposure to Cartoon Network as a kid. I was more of a Nicktoon guy myself, with stuff like SpongeBob SquarePants and a few others. Surprisingly, even though I'm probably considered as that cat dog guy, I actually didn't start watching that until I was around 15 or 16, and was introduced to it from the short episode that came with the Rugrats movie. Anyways, let's move on to the video and look at the first few episodes of Ed, Edd and Eddy to see if I'll enjoy it. Before I actually start discussing the show itself, I want to take a moment to recognize its art style. It's strange, to say the least. I don't necessarily hate it. It's pretty cool to look at it frame by frame and see the effort that was put into it, but at the same time it can be a little distracting from what's going on. It's a visual treat that shouldn't be heavily consumed, basically. The first episode begins with Ed, whom I will refer to as Double D from now on, because his name has two D's in it, labeling and organizing everything in his room. The doorbell rings and he goes to see who it is, only to be abused multiple times by his annoying friend Eddy, before letting him inside. After Eddy messes up some of the labels in Double D's room, he notices that his precious magnifying glass has mysteriously disappeared, and assumes that somebody has stolen it and begins to break down. After that, they both go to get their third friend of the bunch, Ed, who... oh, he's just watching Courage the Cowardly Dog. After a bit of wrestling, Ed's sister storms into the room proclaiming that someone stole her doll. Eddy tells the rest of them that since things are being stolen, that there is a serial toucher on the loose, and finds a way to capitalize on it by announcing to some kids that they will find out who is doing this if everyone chips in some cash. His master plan is to have Ed sit in public with a don't touch sign, which would be irresistible to a serial toucher. Eventually, some weird kid with a board for a friend touches Ed's head and is captured. They interrogate him to the point he confesses, even though he is obviously innocent. Huh, I'm sure glad that never happens in real life. The Eds are happy with their work and decide to spend the money they have rightfully earned on some good old-fashioned jawbreakers, even though Ed's sister and Double D already found their supposedly stolen items. They get their cartoonishly oversized jawbreakers, but don't get to enjoy them for long because they are hit with a tire containing the Plank Kid and drop them on the ground, causing them to fly off. They all run after them and the episode just ends. Kind of an abrupt ending, but okay. Episode 2 begins with the Eds helping Double D with his bug collection when Ed accidentally gets caught in a giant spiderweb. Some mysterious voices are heard singing that one treehouse kissing song that everyone knows about, so the Eds try to book it but end up getting knocked out and captured. The ones who captured them are three girls known as the Canker Sisters, whom have taken the boys to their home as well as helping them change into some new clothes while they were unconscious. Wait, what?!
That's no good.
So ignoring that, the girls offer to make them some food, so they decide to stay a while. While the girls are out, they notice some creepy pictures that the girls drew of them all as couples, despite this being the first time they have met. The boys get their meal and begin chowing down, but are accidentally rude to the girls who want to be noticed.
I'll touch you whenever I want, buddy boy!
Why does this keep getting worse? The girls decide to start nagging the boys into cleaning up the house for how they behaved. After too much abuse, Eddy snaps and yells at the girls, causing them all to cry. Upon consulting them, they tell the Eds to get out of there and never come back. So the boys go to leave, when all of a sudden the sisters have somehow teleported outside, and tell them that they can't leave because of their dolly kids that look exactly like the Eds. Understandably freaked out from all of this obsession, the boys bolt out as fast as possible as the girls fawn over them dashing away, and the episode ends. The last episode I will discuss today starts with the boys having a job to take care of a beehive, but terribly make it worse and run away. After that random opening, they are all complaining about the heat and try to get into the shade, but fail as it keeps disappearing. They hear about a sprinkler party, but they aren't invited. To circumvent this, they try to become hip and hot by getting some tiny swimsuits that Eddy has and force themselves into the party. They are begrudgingly allowed in, but they keep being annoying to everyone. To try and fit in, two of the Eds try mingling by talking about some horror movie they liked, but went into too much detail about it and scared them off. To try and fit in once again, Eddy attempts to do a stunt but fails horribly when all three of the Eds lose their tiny swim trunks. Fortunately, nobody seemed to care about the stunt, and they rush over to the baby pool to hide their shame before anyone notices. They end up staying in the pool for so long that it gets dark and cold. They wait for everyone to fall asleep and then use the pool as a covering to run away. They accidentally trip up on the way out and crash into a beehive and sprint away from the same threat from the beginning as the episode ends. And those are all of the episodes of Ed, Edd, and Eddy that I will talk about for today. All in all, I did enjoy watching it, even though I feel like it had a couple of questionable moments in it. Although a little weird, I still found it to be greatly entertaining and will probably watch more of it in the future. My favorite part of the show for sure would have to be the slapstick in it. Most of the humor of the show comes from the unrealistic things that can happen with the power of animation, and I loved watching every frame of it. Without further ado, thank you for watching this video. I am Kayumba, the Kirby Goomba, and I hope you will see me next time. Goodbye.